Welcome to Mindfucks with Mahara, where we flip your perspective, challenge your thinking, and leave you feeling surprisingly amazing about it all. I'm your host, Mahara, and this podcast is for the rebels ready to rage against their comfort zone, for those willing to flip their finger at mediocrity and sit in the fire of discomfort, knowing that's where the magic happens. Each episode, I'll share insights that might just blow your mind in the best possible way. So if you are ready to have your world rocked and your thoughts rewired, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome back to Mindfucks with Mahara, where we don't do lukewarm inspiration or polite pep talks. Instead, we do raw truth, spiritual badassery, and the kind of mental rewiring that'll have your soul throwing a damn parade. Yes, you heard me. Welcome, welcome. Today's episode is for every woman who's been working her ass off to build a life she thought she wanted, only to wake up one day, look around and think, wait, what? Is this it? Did I just spend all this time chasing something that doesn't even fit me anymore? Oh my God. This was my story a few years ago. Well, if that question's been lurking in your head lately, pull up a chair, Queen, because we're about to set fire to the blueprint you've been following, the one that's been quietly choking the life out of you. And instead, we're going to start building something that actually feels like home to your soul. Are you ready? Okay, well, here's the mindfuck. Many high-achieving women didn't design the life they're living. True. Sure, they think they did. But if you peel back the layers, you'll find a template, a, quote, proven formula for success, handed to them by family, culture, mentors, the media, maybe even their spiritual community. Go to the right schools, pick a respectable career, get the title, the money, the financial security, find the partner, build the house, keep leveling up until what? You see, no one ever really told you what happens after you check all the boxes. They just hinted you'd magically arrive at happy and stay there forever. But here's what I know. Happiness doesn't live in your checklist. It lives in your alignment. And most women I work with are killing themselves trying to maintain a life that looks amazing on paper, but feels like slow spiritual suffocation in reality. Can you relate? Well, you would think that once you hit your milestones, your inner critic would chill the hell out, right? But nope. She just changes tactics. God, she can be a bitch. When you were younger, she warned you about failure. Don't try that, babe. You'll embarrass yourself. Stay in your lane. Play it safe for the love of God. But once you've achieved some success, she upgrades her script. Don't mess with it. You work too hard for this. You look flaky if you change paths now. Oh my God, what are people going to think? Other people would kill to have what you have. Just be quiet and be grateful. Does that sound familiar? Bad oh man, the inner critic is like the hyper-vigilant project manager in your brain who believes her only job is to keep you from screwing things up. And the irony with that, she truly thinks she's protecting you. But she doesn't care about joy. She doesn't care about alignment. She doesn't care about control. She would rather you stay in a life that's slowly draining you than risk stepping into the unknown. Now, gratitude, honestly, it's so beautiful. But when it's used as a guilt trip to keep you stuck, it becomes weaponized. That's the inner critic in her most manipulative form, wrapping a velvet ribbon around your cage and calling it love. And because she's been running the show for so long, her voice doesn't even sound foreign to you anymore. It sounds like you. Now, this moment doesn't always come as a dramatic breakdown. Sometimes it's a whisper. You start dreading Mondays, even though you, quote, love your work. You secretly wish the next promotion would go to someone else so you don't have to handle more pressure. You watch other people pivot or take risks, and you feel this pang of jealousy, not because you want their life, but because they have the freedom to choose. For me, it was waking up one morning, realizing the ladder I'd been climbing for years was leaning against the wrong damn building. I'd bought into the story of success that looked perfect in other people's eyes, but the truth, well, it didn't feel like my story. And those of you that know me have heard me talk about this real quick. My youngest daughter called me out on bad behavior while watching a movie. I chose to answer an email at 9 o'clock at night instead of talking to her, which I was doing at the time. Anyway, that was actually the beginning, and that started it. And I realized that something had to change. Okay, here comes the Shadow Queen. As a reminder, she is the unapologetic, deeply intuitive part of you that refuses to play nice just to keep the peace. She's not polite. She is not here to sugarcoat. She's the part of you who will look at the gorgeous, glossy, Instagram-ready version of your life and say, "This, sweetheart, this is not it. You know it. I know it. Stop pretending." The Shadow Queen is your disruptor. She sees through the performance. She notices when you're nodding yes, but screaming no on the inside. And unlike your inner critic, she doesn't care about being liked. She cares about being real. But here's the catch. Oh my God, she's been buried under layers of conditioning for decades. You've been told she's dangerous, too emotional, too impulsive, too much. So you've learned to ignore her until she starts speaking so loudly you can't. And when she finally gets your attention, well, she's not handing you a polite little pivot plan. She's saying, "This is not working. Let it burn." The Shadow Queen's medicine isn't about reckless chaos, though. It's about courageous demolition, dismantling what's false so the real you can breathe again. Who wants that? Oh, God, I do. Well, I have it now, but I really wanted it back then. Now, burning the blueprint means dismantling a life you worked really hard to create. And I get it. It means risking judgment, criticism, and yes, your own fear of failure. I get the fear behind all of that. It's the equivalent of walking into a house that you've spent years building and saying, okay, you know what? I'm actually going to knock down a few walls and maybe rip off the roof. And yes, it's going to be messy. And no, I don't have the final floor plan yet. It feels reckless. It feels irresponsible, may even feel dangerous, which is exactly why your inner critic will fight you every step of the way. Okay, in walks divine guide wisdom, right? So I'm going to invite you, as you're listening, to just take a deep breath. I say this a lot to clients. Just take a deep breath, pause, take a breath, because this is where your divine guide shows up. She is the calm, unshakable voice inside you who already knows you're enough. She doesn't shout over the inner critic's fear or the Shadow Queen's fire. She waits until you're quiet enough to hear her say, "Babe, it's safe to begin again. Not from scratch. Don't ever think it's from scratch. You're starting from wisdom." You see, the divine guide has been with you your whole life. You just may have mistaken her quiet certainty for nothing at all. She's the one who nudges you toward the coffee shop where you meet your next opportunity. She's the one who says, "This way," when the logical choice looks shinier but feels wrong. She's the one who reminds you that joy is not irresponsible. When the old blueprint feels like a prison, she doesn't tell you to run without a plan. She says, "Take what still serves you. Leave the rest in ash. Build something that's actually yours." She's the wisdom keeper, the anchor, the compass. She's your best ally when you're rewriting your life from the inside out. Now, if your gut is screaming, "Yes, oh my God, this is me," here's your action plan. Number one, name the lie. Right? Write down all the shoulds that you've been following. Be brutally honest. Which one actually light you up? Which ones just keep you in line? Next, declare what's non-negotiable. What truly matters to you now? This isn't about what mattered 5 years ago or what's going to impress your friends on LinkedIn, right? Okay. Number 3, start with a controlled burn. Now, please listen when I say this. You don't have to set fire to your entire life in one night. Start by removing one thing that feels heavy or misaligned. And watch how much space that creates. Okay, while this is going on, expect the inner critic meltdown. She's going to freak out. She's going to call you selfish, ungrateful, reckless, and all of those things. But recognize it for what it is, her fear of the unknown. Sit with it. Breathe into it. Reassure her. Okay, next, anchor in the divine guide daily. Yes, you heard me, daily. So every morning, my invitation to you is to ask, okay, what is one step I can take today toward a life that feels like mine? And then, sweetheart, take it, right? Do it. Do the thing. Now, here's the magic. Once you stop building a life you secretly hate, energy floods back in. Creativity surges. Opportunities that were invisible suddenly appear because, guess why? You're no longer glued to a plan that was never meant for you. And yes, you are going to piss some people off. You will probably confuse others. But the people who matter will see you becoming more of you, and they're going to cheer you on. Okay, this isn't about being reckless. It's about taking radical responsibility for your one precious, unrepeatable life. Well, some people may think it's repeatable, but we're not going down that path today. So the question is, my friends, are you willing to burn the blueprint to save your soul? My name is Mahara. Thanks for tuning in. This has been another episode of Mindfucks with Mahara. If you've got some questions about this, just send me a message. If you are interested in learning more about what I do and how I can help you, head over to my website, www.mindfulnesswithmahara.com, and check it out. Please know that I offer complimentary intuitive strategy readings for anybody new. I would love to offer that for you as well. Have an amazing week, and I will see you next time on Mindfucks with Mahara.